Okay, so as someone who has held space for
Mhm.
people through their processes and in the medicine journeys and things like this, I'm curious what you do in terms of practices or other medicines that you work with to stay clean
Mm. Yeah, beautiful question.
energetically.
Mhm. So obviously, like, dieta was a massive practice of devotion to cleaning myself, but also through learning the ins and outs of dieta, through working with the master plants, one of the biggest things that has come into my field now that I'm routinely working with are flower baths and using flower essences and plant essences to cleanse and clear my energetic field as a whole. And so, flower baths are a big part of my daily practices, weekly practices. They're also something that I incorporate into ceremonies now to help other people just cleanse and clear before and after ceremony to help them really just protect their energetic field. Like, we have so many plant allies, and the ones that we work with will be so individual for us based on where we are in our journey, but it's to just really, again, like, connect with the spirit of those plants and call the spirit of those plants in to help us invoke those cloaks of protection and to cleanse and clear our field and to protect us in those spaces. It's such a simple practice, yet it has been so powerful for me to incorporate for myself and for the people that I work with. Mapacho has also become a massive ally for me. And working with mapacho was also, it really invited me to readdress my relationship and my perspective of tobacco as a whole, and really see how we as a Western culture have, again, we've used and abused that plant spirit, that powerful, beautiful plant spirit, and we have created an addictive substance out of it. We have added toxins to it, and mapacho really, to me, represents the divine masculine as, again, like, the protector. So he comes into those spaces and he invokes that cloak of protection. He helps clean our energy. But in order to actually work with mapacho, we have to recultivate our spirit or our relationship with tobacco. And as somebody, I myself had never smoked anything before I started getting into this work and learning how these plant spirits and essences could be used for our benefit and in this co-creative relationship way. I just had such a distorted view of what tobacco was. And so for me, learning about mapacho and about the qualities of tobacco as a medicine and as an offering and as an aspect of ceremony, that journey in and of itself has been so powerful. And as I've worked more and more with mapacho, he has started to ask me to share him with specific people. And so I do bring him into the ceremonial space, and I do share him with those that I feel called to share with. And that, again, is such a powerful practice to not only to use the smoke to cleanse and clear our energy, but to use the smoke to cleanse and clear the energy of others, to cleanse and clear the space. And again, it's all about right relation, right? Like, it's acknowledging the spirit in this beautiful plant ally, and coming into relationship with that spirit instead of just using it or practicing with it. um
I think one thing to add just for people is like a little bit of like context here as well. It's very easy to hear these things. I like picture myself as like 18-year-old Matt who's
mm,
like in the process of becoming a physicist and is just like rational as fuck, you know? It's very easy to write these things off,
mm,
you know, but it really comes down to direct
yeah.
experience where you feel it immediately,
mm,
you know?
mm,
Like when I feel there's like a disturbance in the energetic fields or even like disturbance in the house,
mm,
you know, like I'll do a plant bath and it's within 15 seconds, like, whew,
yeah,
you know, gone, cleared.
yeah,
And like you do that a couple times and then it's again, it's coherence.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. um the other two practices for me are fasting and prayer. Just being in a devotional practice every day where I am praying and I'm just cultivating my connection to self and soul, and my connection to God. And that, again, has been such a journey for me. I mean, I grew up Catholic and then just dissociated from religion entirely and didn't even want to use the word God or to pray in any sort of way, shape, or form. And it's been working with the plants that has brought me back to that. It hasn't been revisiting religion or going back and reading the Bible, which I mean, I'm starting to just get curious and explore all of these things now, but it was really working with the plants that really started to invite me back into prayer, back into connecting with God and knowing that that exists within us and it's available to us and there's no one way to go about it. There's no church or book that is going to create that connection within us. I just truly believe it has to be discovered. And for me, that process of discovery was working with the plants.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, they're such amazing teachers, especially there's something to attuning to the way they communicate with us where it isn't like
Mm,
language, you know, it's like sensation and emotion and insight and vision, where you really begin to understand what prayer is
mhm,
through that process.
mhm.
You know, prayer isn't the words that you say.
No.
It's that vibration that you're at when you're in that place. And the words can like they can help us get there, you know. But it's that vibration, that's the prayer, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, our teacher, he says, like, life is simple. Everyone really overcomplicates it. Life is
Mhm.
simple. You wake up, you pray, you do your work, you help your community, you love your family, and then you pray and then you go to bed,
Mhm.
you know?
I will never forget the ceremony in Uvita where he concluded ceremony by inviting us all to ask ourselves, what does it look like for you to step out of the ceremony space and continue to live your life as a walking prayer? That's
Mhm.
something that I am constantly asking myself to reflect on. Like, is the way that I'm showing up right now, is is this a walking prayer? Is this something that I truly feel is in the frequency of prayer, is honoring who I am and how I'm showing up in the world and everyone that I'm interacting with? Is this honoring the medicine and the wisdom that has been shared with me by these plants, by these teachers? How am I showing up as a prayer, in divine relation and connection to all that is?
Mhm. Oh, yeah. And for me, like, it really just feels like at this point, with such an understanding of what I actually am, you know,
Mhm,
like not this body, not this human, like this spirit, this awareness.
mhm,
And it's like, I am prayer.
mhm,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And like my life is my prayer. And like I invite the listeners, like if you like, you know, kind of look at your life right now and zoom out, it's like, is that prayer?
mhm,
You know?
mhm,
Like I think how you put it was beautiful. Like, you know, everything that's been shared with you, that wisdom, the plants, their medicine, all these, like, are you doing that justice?
mhm,
And it's so easy with these medicines too to get into a relationship to some degree of like seeking peak experience
mhm,
and keep going back to the wishing well,
yeah.
you know? And there's like times to go deep and there's times to integrate.
Mhm.
And like now, I just get a big long list of instructions. Like I get some cleaning done for sure, you know, but it's like you need to go and do these things. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, like for me to honor the medicine is actually for me to go and tick all these things off.
Mm, mhm,
You know, I don't need to go back again and be told the list. I already know it,
mhm,
you know? And like part of me starting this podcast was that list.
mm.
It was like, you need to start praying to the world, you know? Like, this is my prayer.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, and like, as Maestro says, like, live your thank you, right? Like, I remember being so thankful after the first ceremony and everyone just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And all he said was live your thank you, right? Like, live in such a way that you are honoring that which you have received and all that you are and all that you have been and all that you are becoming. Live your thank you.
Oh, oh,
Mm.
codes. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? It's really that simple.
Mhm.
Like, we could end the podcast there. I want to keep
Kidding.
going, but we could.
I wanna keep going too.
Yeah. Like, if you take anything away, like, listen to that last 10 minutes, like, 3 more times, you know?
And thank you also for really receiving what you've received in the ceremony space and taking the responsibility for yourself to honor that and to show up in this way, to listen to those pings from your soul and to say, okay, like I have been invited to share my medicine and to speak to the world and to use technology as a means of sharing wisdom and medicine and communicating and connecting with others. It's so easy in today's day and age to just get so wrapped up in how many things are wrong with the world and the darkness and the shadow and everything, and to see our phones as these awful devices and everything. But if we can just come back to that question of how do we live as this walking prayer and how do we honor what we have received? How do we show up in the way that we are really truly feeling our soul is asking us to show up in the world? That's what we're feeding with our awareness and our energy. And so that's what we are going to build. That's what we are going to cultivate in our garden. And that's really, that to me is the work. Right. So thank you for having this platform.
I feel like you just clicked something in my understanding just then
Mm,
of I found this path literally through podcasts,
mm,
you know?
mm-hmm,
Like the psilocybin and like the LSD had come into my life, but it was actually listening to a Graham Hancock podcast when I was like 18 years old. And it was just like my entire life dissolved in that moment. And my North Star became ayahuasca. And it was like nothing else mattered.
mm,
And for me, as like a kid in Sydney with like no connections to the jungle,
mm,
like this signal snuck through, you know? And because of that, my entire life has radically changed. And I'm so happy
yeah,
with the way my life is going right now. And there's ups and downs. It's like not everything's
of course,
perfect, but
of
like
course.
the beautiful lessons, you
Yeah,
know? But yeah, I just like it really feels like, man, like 18-year-old Matt would have loved these
yeah.
conversations. And like I'm just here to like throw them out there.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I
Hmm.
found so many of my teachers through podcasts as well. The training that I did in Sedona was somebody that I found through a podcast. And so yeah, I mean, we're not here to save anybody. We're not here to change anybody's ideas or perspectives, but in the act of sharing the medicine and the wisdom that we have received, we plant seeds and everyone else has their own sovereign free will choice ability to water the seeds that they see fit.
Hmm. Yeah. And understand that they are sovereign.
Mhm.
You can go crazy with your life, you know? And there's part of me that I have like a funny kind of relationship with my soul to some degree where my soul wants me to like, you know, walk this certain way and I can't leave. At this point, it's like if I was tried to plug myself back into the matrix, like a bus would just hit me. Like I've gone too far to go back, you
Yeah.
know? Um, but my soul wants me to like really refine my prayer
Mm,
and like my like little identity collection that I have right now just wants to tell an amazing story with my life
mm,
like for creator. That's
mhm.
like kind of like the way that I can kind of piece it together where like I am going to do something epic consistently, you know.
I love that. I love that. And, like, that brings up this really important principle too. Like, at least this is how I see it. Like, yes, we are a soul living in this avatar of this body. And we also did come here to have a human experience. And so we came here to play. We came here to be curious. We came here to explore the many facets of this human existence. And yeah, sometimes we're going to fall off the path. Sometimes we're going to make decisions that aren't 100% in alignment with soul, but also like it's about giving ourselves grace and then using that information to learn and move forwards. But at the end of the day, this whole experience is so beyond ridiculous. Like if we are not playing and laughing and being silly gooses and just exploring the many ways that we can express ourselves and our identity, then what are we even doing here?
Hmm. Hmm. And I see that in the maestros, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the ceremonies can get crazy, you know, and then at the end they're all like
Yeah.
cracking jokes. Like that's the way, you know, like darkness comes, You know,
Yeah.
on the other side, we laugh.
Uh-huh.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, don't forget to like and subscribe below. It really helps a growing channel like this out. And click up here. It'll take you to a collection of the best this podcast has to offer. Up here.